Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with next chapter of the chemistry, chapter 4, that is chemical kinetics. Now, first we should know what is kinetics. The word kinetics is derived from the Greek word kinesis, means movement. It is the branch of chemistry which deals with the rate of reaction and the mechanism of the reaction. Now, based upon the kinetics, means based upon the rates, chemical reactions are of three types. First type, the reactions which are very fast. For example, ionic reactions such as precipitation of silver chloride when you add silver nitrate solution to any chloride salt. Second are reactions which are very slow. For example, rusting of iron in the presence of air and moisture. You know, these reactions take lot of time. And then we have third category of reactions which proceed via moderate speed. For example, inversion of cane sugar, hydrolysis of starch. While studying the kinetics, we are actually concerned with the third category of reactions, that is, which proceed via moderate speed. Now, how to measure a rate of a chemical reaction? Students, whenever you go in a car or any vehicle from one place to other, you find there is a speedometer which tells you about the speed of your vehicle. But in a chemical reaction, there is no speedometer. So, the speed of a reaction or the rate of a reaction will be defined as change in concentration of a reactant or product in unit time. Mathematically, let us consider a reaction A changes to B. If A1 and B1 are the concentrations of A and B at time T1 and A2 and B2 are their concentrations at time T2, then what will be the rate? Rate will be change in concentration of A upon time taken, means A2 minus A1 upon T2 minus T1, or it can be written as delta A upon delta T. Similarly, rate can also be written as change in concentration of B upon time taken, means delta B upon delta T. Means rate is equal to delta A upon T is equal to delta B upon delta T. Negative sign is also used along with the change in concentration of reactant because the concentration of reactant is decreasing. Units of rate will be concentration upon time. If concentration is in moles per liter, time is in seconds, then the units will be moles per liter per second. Let us take a complex reaction. A moles of A plus B moles of B plus C moles of C will change to E moles of E plus F moles of F plus G moles of G, or many others also. Now in this case, how will you write the rate of reaction? If you compare the rate of disappearance of A with the rate of appearance of E, what will be? The time in which A moles of A will disappear will be equal to the time in which E moles of E will appear. Means in that case, rate of reaction where stoichiometric coefficients of reactants and products are not equal to 1, the rate of disappearance of any of the reactant or the rate of appearance of the product is divided by their respective stoichiometric coefficients. Means we are calculating the rate of a reaction for 1 mole. So, for such type of reactions, we will write rate will be equal to minus 1 by A delta A upon delta T equal to minus 1 by B delta B upon delta T equals to 1 upon E delta E upon delta T 1 upon F delta F upon delta T and so on. You can see here negative sign in front of the expression for reactant because the concentration of reactant is decreasing. Here small abc, small efg are the stoichiometric coefficients in a balanced chemical equation and capital ABC, capital EFG are chemical species. Now what is an average and instantaneous rate of a reaction? Students, if you are going from Panipat to Delhi, you cannot drive your car at a same speed, right? Sometimes you will have to slow down. Sometimes you can be fast depending upon the road condition. So if you take 3 hours time to travel a distance of 120 kilometers, then you can say my average speed is 120 divided by 3 means 40 kilometers per hour. That will be your average speed. But when you are going from Panipat to Delhi and in between at Sonipat, I call you and just ask what is your current speed, with which speed you are driving at this particular moment. That may be 10 kilometers per hour, you may be stuck in a jam, or that may be 100 kilometers per hour because the road may be wicked. So that will be your instantaneous speed. Similarly, in case of a chemical reactions also, we can find both average speed and instantaneous speed. How? We start a reaction and after a regular intervals of time, we keep on noting the concentration of reactant, or you may start with the product. Initially the concentration of product is 0. As the reaction proceeds, concentration of product goes on increasing. So keep on noting the concentration of product at regular interval of time. You may take reactant, you may take product. And then plot a graph taking the concentration of reactant or product on the y-axis and time interval on the x-axis. You will find the curve of the reactant will be like this and that of product will be like this. You can see concentration of reactant is decreasing and that of product is increasing. Now from this graph, you can find both average speed as well as instantaneous speed. Now time interval is mentioned here, right? So between the two time intervals, whatever you require, you can find the average rate of reaction as minus delta R upon delta T. From the time interval, required time interval, just draw two vertical lines. They will cut your graph at some point. From those points, just draw two horizontal lines. From here, you can calculate delta R as well as delta T. Similarly, same method can be used in the product graph also. Here also, you will draw two vertical lines depending upon requirement of the time interval, and then from there you will get delta P and delta T. So you can calculate average rate of a reaction. Now for finding the instantaneous rate of a reaction at a particular time, from that particular time just draw a single line which cuts the graph at some particular point. Maybe reactant graph, maybe product graph. From that point, on that point, just draw a tangent over here. You can see the tangent over here, you can see the tangent over here, and calculate the slope at that particular point. Slope of the graph at that particular point will give you instantaneous rate of a reaction. Average rate cannot be used to predict the rate of a reaction at a particular instant, as it would be constant for the time interval for which it is calculated. So average rate, as you have seen in the graph, will be minus delta R upon delta T or delta P upon delta T. But as the time delta T approaches 0, the rate becomes instantaneous. So instantaneous rate will be minus dr by dt, or this is equal to dp by dt. This negative and positive signs have no physical significance. They just tell us that the concentration of R is decreasing while that of P is increasing. Here is a question for you. This is an equation given. Express the rate in terms of change in concentration of reactants and products. Then in first 15 seconds, 0.015 mole of oxygen is produced in 0.5 liter reaction vessel. Determine the average rate of reaction. And the third point is, what is the rate of decomposition of N2? What will you do? First we will express the rate. These are the stoichiometric coefficients of the reaction. We have to take care of that. See, this is the reaction. So what will be rate? It will be minus 1 by 2 delta N2O upon delta T plus 1 by 2 delta N2 upon delta T is equal to plus delta O2 upon delta T. Now what was given to us? It was given to us 0.015 moles in 0.500 liters. So this will be comes to be 0.030 molar. So what will be rate? Rate will be change in concentration upon time interval. So it will be 0.0020 molar per second. There was a third part of the question where you were asked to calculate the rate of disappearance of N2O, means you were to calculate delta N2O upon delta T. Now just equate first expression with third equation. It will become delta N2O upon delta T will be 2 into delta O2 upon delta T. So this will be 0.0040 moles per liter. So this is all for today. Thank you.